sa amin, sa DNR, lalo na sa Forest Management Bureau, approve kami sa programang ito sapagkat nabibigyan ng puwang yung mga magagandang programa ng ating pamahalaan. No? Nagkakameron kami ng venue para makarating sa publiko, mas malawak yung marating. Napaka-interactive ng programang ito, very spontaneous, kaya napakaganda ng usapan.
Tungkol sa experience namin dito sa APRUB, very encouraging yung topics at saka parang binibigay yung information kung saan ka makakakuha ng additional na data na kailangan.
Alright, and we are back mga kaibigan. Kasama pa rin natin si Attorney Basilio Wandag, ang Executive Director ng National Commission on Indigenous People. Sir, kanina iniwanan natin yung discussion about promoting, protecting the rights of the Indigenous People. Tayo, gamitin ko na yung word na notorious doon sa regionalization na pagkawarayan, kahit nasa Amerika na yan, merong asosasyon ng mga waray, may asosasyon ng mga, alam mo yun, hindi siya asosasyon ng Pilipino as a whole, kundi yung region. How can we say na itong pagprotekta sa indigenous people ay hindi nahuhulog dun sa ganong kategorya?
Importante kasi yung provision ng Constitution and APRA na kailangan i-promote ang national unity and development. Right. So everything that we do should be towards that national unity and development. Right. Because totoo yung sinabi mo, no, may regionalism ng mga tao eh. Right. But we have to overcome that with our national concern as a nation. And that's why indigenous peoples would want to be part of that national unity and development.
Right. Very, very well said. Yung sinabi mo, sir, kanina, no, yung dances and songs, no, kasama na din dyan yung art kasi I've been to provinces na amazing talaga yung patterns nila ng banig, patterns nila ng damit. Tapos there is even this group of indigenous people na they dream about the pattern and then they execute it dun sa weaving nila. And that's why lahat ng weaving nila, meron silang standard, pero meron silang pinapanaginipan nila or inspired by something. Tapos yun yung ginagawa nila and that makes it unique.
Yeah. That's why indigenous peoples are very spiritual. Right. Because when they do things, they're guided by their spiritual beliefs. Right. They do not just do anything.
Right. It's not to please somebody, it's to execute the art within them.
And that's why when you undo these things in a way where you present it differently, parang nababiolate yung spiritual connections ng mga tao sa paggawa ng mga iyon.
Right. Kaya nagkakaroon ng unrest.
Yeah.
Nagkakaroon ng, alam mo yun, parang nakukulangan sila kasi you're trying to impose what you have on us when we have something already that's been working for centuries and centuries.
Yeah. That's why we want cultural integrity so that people will not abuse or misunderstand what the cultural expressions of indigenous peoples are. Now, if they have to choreograph these things, then they should be able to tell their audience that this is something choreographed. Right. So they won't believe otherwise.
Right. At saka hindi rin stereotype na yung mga tao sa dati tinatawag kapatagan, kapag umakyat ng bundok sila yung magtuturo. Now, it's the other way around. We go up or we go to their communities to learn things that they can teach us.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, sir, dun tayo. That's one aspect ng trabaho ng National Commission on Indigenous People. Dun tayo sa kabila, which is the actual protection of the rights. Now, kung halimbawa meron tayo member ng IP na palagay niya na violate yung rights nila, can they come to you? And what do you do for them?
Yes. Actually, tatlo ang major functions ng NCIP. Yung administrative or executive, we implement the law. Second, yung quasi-legislative, we make rules and regulations that will implement the law to protect the rights of indigenous people.
The IRRs.
Yes. And the third is yung quasi-judicial.
Okay.
And that is the settlement of conflicts or disputes for the protection of rights, but primarily based muna sa customary laws and practices.
Okay. Yun ang priority. Parang may ganito kayong sinabi sa akin kanina, sir. As long as their culture and their laws do not violate the integrity of the wholeness of the nation, uunahin natin yung law nila.
Yes. That's why anything that should be done should be what they call this culture sensitive
Okay.
So as not
I like that term, culture sensitive.
Yes.
Oo. Kasi nakakalimutan natin na may ganun no? Kapag halimbawa nakapag-aral na dito sa Manila, iba na yung thinking niya, nakakalimutan niya na may kinakailangang respetuhin kultura doon sa iniwanan niya.
Yeah, because alam mo kung hindi culture sensitive, nagkakaroon ng disharmony.
Correct.
Disharmony. Pero kung nakabase sa kultura ang pag-ayos ng mga problema, parang mas madali and it will promote really good relations among people and it's not expensive. Kaya may story ako sa inyo. Sa mga
Sige, sir.
areas na dominated ng IPs, bihira ang kasong dumadating sa mga municipal circuit courts, no? Dahil inaayos na nila. Sometimes na-file na pero inaayos pa rin ng community.
At nare-resolve.
And then lasting ang effect niyan because people are united, are harmonized.
Okay. Now, I asked you earlier kung ito bang National Commission for Indigenous People, NCIP, ay government organization. Sabi mo, oo.
Yes.
Tapos you further explore the whole thing by saying tatlo nga yung function nyo, the executive, and then the legislative, and then the quasi-judicial. Quasi-legislative na, quasi-judicial pa. So, ganito ka-unique yung duties and responsibilities of the NCIP. Now, kanina yung sinasabi ko yung mga kababayan natin, halimbawa, feeling nila meron na-violate sa right nila, or there is something that they don't understand, yung how to marry yung culture nila with the existing laws of the Philippines. Can they come to your offices?
Yes, definitely. Ang problema nga lang, kung inter-IP ang problema, pwede doon sa amin. Meron tayong regional hearing offices, no? Kung IP versus non-IP, mamili sila because we cannot impose customary law upon non-IPs.
Right.
Mamili. Yung kung gusto ng IP na sa regular courts, okay lang. No?
Okay.
Pero kung IP versus IP, definitely it must be before the NCIP.
Okay. Nabukod, sir, dito sa office ninyo, dito sa Quezon City, no? Sa corner ng Quezon Avenue, tsaka ng West Triangle. I think it's De La Merced building.
Yes, that's right.
That's your headquarters here in Manila. You have offices also sa mga regional offices or
That's
sa mga
right.
regional na lugar.
We have a central office which is located here. We have 12 regional offices. We have 46 provincial offices.
Okay.
And we have 108 community service centers.
Wow. Pag sinabi natin community service centers, ano ang kaibahan nito doon sa mga regular offices ninyo?
It's the lowest office in our structure.
Okay.
Dahil it has jurisdiction over one or more municipalities.
Now, sir, yung mga regional offices nyo, sabi nyo kasi kung IP against IP or merong dispute na IP at IP ang concern dito, yung mga regional offices niyo more or less ang nag-aayos.
Dapat una sa community service centers o provincial offices bago
sa regional.
yakyat.
Okay. Pero halimbawa na-decide na or naayos na sa regional level, ito ba umaabot pa sa national level?
Hindi na.
Hanggang doon na lang talaga sila.
Puwera, kung sa iba kasi yung regional office na headed by the regional director, meron kaming regional hearing officer.
Okay.
Dahil sa judicial nga Kung decision ng regional hearing officer, pwede mong i-appeal sa Commission and Bank.
Okay. Sa itaas na. Dito na yon sa Manila. At yung bang ganun ay final and executory? Hindi pa
Because
rin.
ang decision ng Commission and Bank, under the law, pwedeng mong i-appeal sa Court of Appeals. Court of Appeals na.
Okay.
Kung questions of facts and law. Pag pure questions of law, pwede kang punta sa
Supreme Court, okay. Pero more often than not, yung mga re-resolve ninyo ng mga kaso, concerning talaga yung culture lang nila.
Their way of life. Yes.
Their way of life. Kaya nare-resolve na pag-uusapan.
Yes.
Okay. Now, sir, yung mga video footages natin, the dances and even the clothes, we are a very colorful culture.
Yeah.
And unlike other nations na pag nakita mo, yun na sila, dito sa atin, nakita mo, akala mo ito na yung Pilipino, lumipat ka ng ibang isla, iba na naman yung makikita mo ron. And then, lumipat ka ng sa bandang dulo ng Pilipinas, sa may bandang medyas ang itsura, iba na naman ang makikita mo doon. Now, how does the NCIP propose to unite all of this culture so that it composes the whole image of one Philippines?
Yeah, it's simple. We simply will try to see to it that the culture, the integrity of the culture of these ethno-linguistic groups are really protected. No? In a way na nobody will prostitute it. No? Nobody will commercialize it. Nobody will, what do you call this? Exploit it or appropriate it for commercial purposes without getting the free and prior informed consent of the people there.
Right. So, hindi sila dapat madehado sa labanan. Okay. Now, sir, kanina sabi ko rin, mayroong papel dito yung ating mga kababayan kung paano makakatulong sa duties and responsibilities naman ng NCIP. You have now the floor to invite them to be aware of the programs that you're pursuing and heading para naman maging madali-dali ng konti yung trabaho ng NCIP at para matulungan din yung ating mga kapatid, kapwa Pilipino.
Yeah. Mga kapatid na katutubo, the struggle for the recognition of our rights was not NCIP's work. It is our work. It was the work of the indigenous peoples since before the Spanish regime. Now, we should continue that struggle. Ang NCIP naging instrumento lang o tool natin in government to be able to realize what we have struggled for centuries na yun eh. Kaya ngayon lang na nabigyan tayo ng opening to have our struggles be recognized by government. Let us not depend so much upon NCIP. But NCIP is there, ready, willing to help us out in our struggle. Tuloy pa rin ang struggle natin. In fact, it's not only in the Philippines. It's worldwide. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng United Nations the Convention or Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. If we unite in the protection, promotion, and recognition of our rights, I tell you, my fellow IPs, matago-tago takolosan.
Ang ibig sabihin nun ay?
Long live the indigenous peoples.
Ayun. Okay, ulitin mo nga siya. Matago-tago.
Matago-tago takolosan.
Takolosan. Matago-tago takolosan.
Yeah, that's right.
Ayan. Okay. Very well said, sir. The fire in the belly is now lit. Nasa sa inyo na mga kaibigan. And even us na hindi talaga pwedeng sabihin na bahagi ng indigenous people, we have to care. And the word there is we have to, because they are brothers. They are our brothers and sisters in being Filipinos. Attorney, maraming salamat po sa iyo. Diyan ka muna ng konti, magkukwentuhan pa tayo ng konti. Mga kaibigan, ang ating nakasama, si Attorney Basilio Wandang, Executive Director ng National Commission on Indigenous People. Ifo-flash natin sa screen muli ang kanilang contact details para kung gusto ninyong magtanong, kung gusto ninyong magsumbong, nariyan ang NCIP. Magbabalik kami.